Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that Indonesia is at the time only a developing country, not a developed country, meaning that it's a country that's still seeking to become more advanced economically and socially. Economically, ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia is still seeking to become more advanced economically. Vice Chairman of the House of the Representatives, also known as DPR, Fahri Hamzah, has stated in 2018 that Indonesia is still not categorized as a prosperous country when compared to other countries statistically. Each of its people has only about 4,000 USD income per capita a year, which is still quite below average. A lot of Indonesian citizens aren't quite prosperous yet, especially those in remote areas that are far from metropolitan cities such as Jakarta, Surabaya, and etc. Now, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever considered that maybe in these remote areas that are far from the government's reach, there may lie some hidden gems? People who are talented and has quite the potential, but they are held back financially. Now, which is why I, as the first speaker from the government team, absolutely agree with the motion that scholarship should only be granted based on financial necessity. First of all, let me define what a scholarship is. It is a grant or payment made to support a student's education. According to the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia number 20 of year 2003, every student of every education level has the right to receive scholarship for those who are achievers and are unable to fund their own educations. Now, as for my argument from the education point of view, this is obviously extremely beneficial for students who are held back by the economic state of them and their family. They are students who has the potential and talent, and it would be a waste not to let them have the chance to receive proper education. By giving them scholarships, they are granted to have proper education out there, and they might even be able to achieve something that would be worth it for this country. This is also a chance for these students to align themselves with students who are economically stable and has good potential. They won't be left out, and they can get the same opportunity as students who are financially stable. Now, from the government's point of view, this is also beneficial since this is an effort on economic equity from the education side. With the government funding these students' education, they are helping them achieve success that would later be beneficial for this country, even if sometimes the outcomes are indirect. Like, just imagine, if the government helped these students achieve success out there, maybe even if they were to achieve international success, wouldn't they be a pride for this country? And now, for my argument from the psychological point of view, imagine if you are a gifted student whose parents are economically held back. You have the ability, you have the talent, the potential, yet you can't achieve proper education out there because of your financial state. And then someday, the government acknowledged your abilities. They saw that you have the potential to succeed out there, and they grant you a scholarship to study somewhere that's worth it. Wouldn't that be a motivation to you, ladies and gentlemen? When scholarships are given to students who are financially held back, it would be a huge motivation for them. They see it as a chance for them to succeed out there, to align themselves with those who are economically and financially stable. They'll become more confident in themselves, and they are granted a chance to compete with economically stable students. Now, what if these scholarships were given to students who aren't financially held back? Well, ladies and gentlemen, my argument is that if these scholarships were given to students who are financially stable, then there's nothing that will motivate them to exceed further. So, there's nothing that would motivate them to exceed further because they already have these things. Needless to say, it would be a waste to give these scholarships to students who are already economically stable. If anything, it would only grow the chances of them being consumptive individuals who are, instead of using these funds for their educations, they'd be using them for other unnecessary things instead. They'd be buying things that won't be beneficial for them and etc. So, let me recap my arguments and give you all the conclusion on why scholarships should be given based on financial necessities only. First, it is a chance for students who are economically held back to align themselves with students who are economically stable so that there would be no social gap. Second, it is a slight effort on economic equity from the government side. Third, it is a motivation for these financially held back students to exceed further in their education and it would boost their confidence. Fourth, if these scholarships were given to students who are financially stable, it would be a waste and it would grow the chances of them being consumptive individuals. Thank you.